everyone. Welcome to another Narc Survivor live video. In this one, we're going to be talking about what happens when a narcissist realizes you will never come back. Because you may have been dealing with this narcissist and they may have been taking you for granted for such a long time. They may have acted like they didn't really care about you anymore. And not only that, but some narcissists, they may have been a little bit jealous, a little bit controlling, but even then, they weren't treating you properly. They weren't meeting your needs, validating your emotions. It just wasn't really about you at all. It was all about them. It was all about what they wanted, how they could use you to their liking. And it was just never about you. So of course, this may make you wonder what will happen when they realize that this time is for real, this time you're not coming back. After all of that time where they took you for granted, or maybe they were a bit jealous, a bit controlling, but even then, they never actually cared about you. It was never about your feelings and needs. It was always about them. So you may wonder, what are they going to be like when I do leave? When I don't come back? And when they know that this time it is for real? What are they going to be like then? And yeah, that's exactly what we're going to discuss in this one. That's what we're going to be talking about, is what does happen when they realize, yes, this is it. You're never coming back this time. So hit the thumbs up button and let's dive into this together. So when they realize you're not coming back, initially at first, they may be in denial about it. Especially those that are a bit more arrogant. They may be thinking, there's no way you're actually going to leave and not come back. You're not going to find anything better out there, is how they may think. So they assume that you will come back at some point. Because they're that arrogant. They believe in their own lies and illusions. And the effectiveness of their manipulation to where they really think that they've got you under control. They've managed your perception. They've made you insecure. They've made you doubt your abilities, your worth, made you dependent on them. So they may be arrogant enough to think that there's no way you're just going to move on and not come back anyway. And yet some of them, they may not have the denial. And they may be more fearful, especially if they know that you're really onto them this time. Then they may be worried about it. And so they're not even going to bother performing anymore, and instead, they will just let the mask slip. They will rage at you. They may become passive aggressive. They may try to prevent you from leaving. Because of course they're worried that this time if you do move on, you're going to wake up and you're not going to come back because you're going to realize how much better off you are without them. And so this is why some of them may actually obstruct you from leaving. Because they're terrified of losing you as their source of supply. Some narcissists may act like they don't care. They may pretend like they're not really bothered about it. They never really needed you anyway. But even those narcissists, they are panicking behind the scenes. And yeah, they will engage in many different things that you may not be aware of. Doing things behind your back. Because you leaving, you moving on, you finding your independence again, your confidence in yourself, and trying to rebuild a life for yourself, this all threatens their false narrative and the illusion. So it challenges their false character and exposes them by you being able to move on without them and just moving on by yourself. So this is why many of you will notice the smear campaign intensifying at this point. Anytime that you try to demonstrate your individuality, your independence, your separateness, it will intensify at that point because they have to view you as an extension of them and as something that's less than them in order for themselves to feel secure, because their whole identity, reality is built on a lie, an illusion. That's why they have to do that. And some narcissists, especially those who are sociopathic, they're going to be premeditating things. They're going to be calculating everything. They're going to be thinking, all right, so you're leaving, you're moving on. They're going to play the long game with you. They will be calculating everything, like the area that you're moving to, the people you're going to be around, where you're going to be working, and just looking at everything that you're doing, examining your finances, everything, and just seeing how they can pull it all apart, seeing how they can sabotage it. That's what the sociopaths are going to do. They're going to play the long game with you, and they're gradually just going to try and undermine every move that you make in finding your independence, because it threatens their false narrative. It threatens their false reality. Everything that they said and lied about you. Because the reality is that they need you, you don't need them. And that's why many of them will come back with these temperament checkers, checking in on you, testing the waters, and just seeing how you will react to them, seeing how effective their manipulation still is, seeing if they're still able to affect you, whether it's in a positive or negative way. And they may do this themselves. They may use fake accounts, flying monkeys, but they try and find some way back in to get your attention again. And they will come back like nothing happened. They will expect you to just overlook everything, just forget about it. All of the damage, all of the destruction they cause, it's like, yeah, just don't worry about that. And let's start again now, let's start fresh. And they will just want you to see them as just this innocent, good person again, who never did anything wrong. Because they want to continue getting the supply, and they don't want any interference with that. They just want to directly be able to extract this from you. And they're not concerned about anything that's gone wrong. I mean, that was all just to keep you, the supply, under control, because they were worried about you leaving them. And this really all revolves around abandonment wounds, rejection, separation anxiety, feeling inadequate by themselves, feeling inadequate by having to watch you move on without them. That's really what this all comes back to. It all really comes back to abandonment. And it's as a result of unmet emotional needs in their childhood. And this is why they fear the abandonment, the separation, and you moving on. This is why this is such a problem for them. And this is why they react in such crazy ways anytime that you do level up, you do glow up, you do find your independence. things do get better for you, you are better able to take care of yourself and provide for yourself. This is why this enrages them. It all comes back to this childhood abandonment wound. And, you really are like a parent to them. Some of you may have been financially taking care of the narcissist, or it may have been more emotional. But either way, you are some form of a caretaker, a parent for them. So that's how this abandonment wound is so strong. It's how they get really insecure, they feel inadequate, and they will do anything to keep you under control. Regardless of how much destruction they cause, in their minds it's justified. It's worth it as long as they don't lose you. As long as you don't escape. But if you're no longer susceptible to their manipulation, they're not even going to bother with the act anymore. They're not going to bother charming you. That will already be replaced with rage, aggression. They're just going to get really mad at you all the time. They're going to be very bitter because in their minds, it's unfair. It's unfair that you do not believe in their acts. That's what becomes unfair to them. That you do not validate it. You do not respond well to the love bombing. And instead you choose to hold on to the truth based on the behaviors that you've seen from them. In their minds, that is unfair now. That is a problem. And it's like, how dare you? How dare you challenge them? How dare you uphold them to anything? Hold them accountable. Because they expect you to just lie down and just forget about it. You just believe in their act. Just believe in what they're displaying to you. Give them that unconditional love. It all goes back to their childhood because that's what happened for them, many of them. As long as they performed, as long as they put on the act, as long as they supported the image of the narcissistic parent, everything was fine. It didn't matter if they did something wrong before, it could be forgotten. As long as you keep performing, as long as you do what they want you to do, but you don't respond to it in that way. And that's why it feels unfair to them, because they've learned this from their childhood. That, okay, yes, you can cause damage, destruction, but as long as you keep performing, as long as you keep on this act, as long as you make the parent look good, feel good, then everything's all right. But that's not good enough for you, is it? Superficiality. No, you want more. You want something real, authentic, deep. And anytime that you want that, you're challenging them. And it's making them be vulnerable. They don't want to feel that way. They don't want to go into that space. And this is how this happens. Where they then lash out at you and they start to rage. Because it's like, the performance should be good enough. It never had to be real before. Being real was the problem. So just accept the performance, is how they think. But that's the problem with so many of us, is we cannot accept that. The performance is not good enough for us. We want something real, something genuine. We want someone who's actually going to stand up, show up, and take accountability for themselves and their lives. And of course, they're not willing to do that, and instead they want to infantilize you and act like you're this nuisance. You cause all these problems. You have to do more. Regardless of how much you've already done, you've already given, already sacrificed, how little they've done for you, how much they've destroyed, it's always going to wind back to the same thing. You have to give more. You have to sacrifice. It's always going to come back to that, because that was the whole point about it, of why they targeted you, out of envy. is because they had the ability to sustain themselves, to sustain their own false image, their own false character. That's why they targeted you. Because they could see, you were going in the right direction. You were clearly able to manage yourself, sustain yourself, take care of yourself. You were doing all of this on your own. They could see that before they got involved with you. And they thought, maybe I can harness this momentum. Maybe I can garner this from you, is how they thought. And that's why they got around you. That's why they wanted to get close to you, in with you, because they could see you were going in the right direction. You had momentum. You were building something up. It was gathering steam. And that's why they wanted to be a part of it, because they wanted to get that momentum going. Many of these people, they're depressed. They're lowlights. They're not doing anything. But you going with momentum of energy, you were really getting somewhere with it. It's kind of like they're stuck at the bottom of a hill and, maybe it's a storm. There's a lot of rain and they're stuck at the bottom of the hill. They're trying to get up to the top, trying to get to the shelter. And they're just tired, they're depressed, they haven't got the energy. And now here you come with a bike. You're pedaling right up the hill. You've got all of this momentum going, you're moving. So they just jump on the back with you. This is what they do. They're like hitchhikers. And you taking them somewhere and you don't realize you're dealing with a dead weight. Someone who's holding you down, holding you back, they're a liability to you. They're a problem. But instead what they do is they jump on the back with you, they get you to take them where they need to go. And then when they get there, they cause all these problems and they just blame it all on you. And you're just expected to carry the weight, carry the load to no end. Which doesn't make any sense, because it's like, if you're the problem, why would they want anything from you? Why would they expect anything from you? Anything more? Why would they come back with a Hoover and the love bombing? It's all just a mind game. Deep down, they know your worth. They targeted you for a reason. They want so much from you for a reason, because they know how great you are. They just don't want you to know that, because of course, they don't want any justification for you cutting them off, for you walking away, for you never returning. They need your supply. They cannot replace you. That energy, that light, that authenticity is irreplaceable. So that's why they have to lie. They have to manipulate. They have to create these illusions, smear campaigns, control you. Deep down, they know, they are aware. Your energy, your light, they can't get enough of it. They need it. And this is why, when you continue with the indifference, you're not susceptible to the manipulation anymore, believing in their lies. Then they rage. And even if they can't really get anywhere with a rage, like that's still not pulling you back, that's still not giving them control, then what do then? They mimic your growth. Now they act like they're going where you're going. They're on the same side with you. They're doing their own thing. They're gathering their own momentum. It's like they're climbing the hill side by side with you now. So that it makes you think, oh, okay, maybe I got it wrong. Or maybe they're finally getting somewhere. Maybe it's okay now. Maybe we should join forces. Maybe we could be a good team. because they want to return back to the love bombing. All that's going to happen is they run you back through the cycle again and again, using you up, extracting from you. But you're never going to get anything back. You're just giving it to a black hole. So whenever they try to mimic your progress or anything like that, just remind yourself of what happened in the love bombing phase. When they were mimicking you then, mirroring you, it didn't go anywhere. They just extracted so much from you. So even when they come back with a hoovering and they're mimicking your growth, it should just remind you of what happened before. But this is why many of them become stalkers and they obsessively watch you on social media, whether it's through fake accounts or they get mutual friends to do it. Because they're just constantly trying to learn you, you know, they can see that you're moving on, you're progressing, and they feel like their control is slipping away. They no longer know you like they used to. So they no longer feel like they possess you, they own you. Now you're just escaping from their grasp. They no longer know what they need to do to work you and to pull you back in. So they stalk because they're really just studying you. They're studying how do they regain this possession, regain this control. Act similar to you. Mimic your tastes, your interests now, your likes, your hobbies. How do they get on board with you again? Because they want to regain that control, regain that supply. That's really what they're looking for. And this is why, you know, they will continue studying your likes, your interests, your fears. Anything they think, you know, they can just get a hold of you again. And then they will come back and try and bait you in with drama, gifts, fake compliments, fake interest, fake charm, just fake everything. Fake crises, it's all just fake, but it's just anything. Just giving you the bait, seeing if you will bite. All they really want is control. All they really want is their supply. That validation that you gave before. Your emotional investment, maybe financial investment as well. Because it made them feel so good. It made them feel alive. It made them feel like the false character is real. This is why they want all of this from you. Because they're fake, they're liars, they're manipulators, con artists, and you're real, genuine, sincere, authentic. So this is why it means that much coming from you. And this is how it seems like they're kind of addicted, trauma bonded to you. Because initially you thought they were real, you thought they were genuine. You later found that they're not. And you pulled away your kind of true character from them. You stop being vulnerable with them, stop being open. So that's how they end up trauma bonded to you. And they're trying to figure out, how do I get this nice person back? How do I get you to be open, vulnerable, fun, like you used to be? But that's how they end up trauma bonded to you. And it's not like you're playing a game with them, you're just genuinely taking that real side of yourself away and grey rocking because you know that it's not safe. You know that anything you invest into them is going to be used against you. It's going to be used to destroy you, and that's why you just instinctively pull back because you know it's dangerous. You could be exploited by this predator. But yeah, that's how they end up trauma bonded to you, and that's how they get obsessed. They stalk you obsessively through fake accounts, mutual friends, and then they try to bait you back in using drama. Just anything they'll think that you will respond to. Playing on your empathy, giving fake crises, playing the victim. giving you gifts, fake compliments, just whatever they think you're going to respond to, whatever they think you need. Do you believe you're still the problem? Do you believe that you still have to fix things with them? If you do, then let me provoke some confusion, drama, crises, blame shifting, guilt tripping. Or if you don't really believe in that, and if you are really just missing something, wanting something, then let's bring in the gifts. Let's bring in the fake compliments. Let's see if this hooks you in. So it's all about regaining that control, getting back their supply. This is what they try and do, when they know you're not coming back. They're not just going to give up. Because they can't replace you. They can't find someone else. If they had someone else waiting in the wings, they'd probably just forget about you very quickly. And many of them, they will act like they don't care. They will act like they've forgotten about you. But you'll know when they haven't, because why can't you return to yourself? Why can't you return to your life? Why can't you have peace and quiet? Why can't you have things of your own? Why can't you have your own progression? Why don't they just let you go? And that's all you really got to do to know if they've moved on. You just look at the condition of things, your circumstances now, and you see, am I progressing? Am I moving on? Why not? What happened with me? That's how you know they haven't moved on. It's all fake, a mirage, an illusion. They're not going anywhere. They're just faking it. It's all an act. And yeah, they can fake it with so many things. They can buy a home, have children, get married. It's all a part of the act, and it's all meant to convince you that they're really moving on, but they're not. It's all fake. And this is it, it can look real because the new supply, they may get love bombed twice as hard as you. And it's all to compensate for what happened before with you, to make it look and feel real for them. But really it feels empty. Because that real love, that real passion, they just stole it from you. They took advantage of it. They didn't celebrate or appreciate it. No, they thought they hit a gold mine with you, and they wanted to extract as much as they could. Deep down, they do know that they've lost the best thing they'll never have again. And that's why they come back, and it's all exaggerated, extreme. This is it, anytime that you see anything exaggerated, extreme, it's to compensate for something. Extreme insecurity, extreme feelings of inadequacy, where they just have to assert something, dominance, control. It's all from insecurity. Feelings of inadequacy, abandonment wounds, all goes back to these unmet emotional needs, using you to regulate themselves through emotional or financial investment, because they can't do it for themselves. They just want to harness your momentum and harvest your energy. That's really what they're trying to do. But yeah, this is what's really going on. This is what's really happening. And, don't ever be fooled, when you're trying to move on, or they act so nice about it. And, it's even like they're acting like they will support you in moving on. Really look at the bigger picture. They will not. They do not want you to move on. They do not want you to be independent, because they are dependent on your investment in them and of having control over you. They're never just going to let you go. They will never support you in that. And this is why, many of you may find that you just can't ever move on. You can't ever move forward without them because they keep coming back. They just keep agitating you all the time, sabotaging the progress. And it's like all of a sudden, your friend stops talking to you, your friend turns against you, there's an argument, there's a problem at work, an issue with the landlord or something. There's always something going on. And it always seems to go back to them. They're always getting involved, causing all of these problems, trying to get you to run back to them. And make you think that it's so they can take care of you, as though you're the issue, but all that happens is you take care of them. And they just ignore it. They just act like you've never done anything for them. But you've done so much. You've done, honestly, if you really look at it, you've done hundreds, thousands of times than what normal people do for each other. And yet they act oblivious to it. Because that's just it. They really just want not a piece of you, the whole of you. They want everything that you are. They want to become you. They want your essence. And honestly, this kind of reminds me of the Last Supper with Jesus and the 12 disciples, where he gave the bread and he said that this is my body, and then the wine, and he said this is my blood. And it is like this with many of us. We have this purity, this innocence. Of course we do. We trusted them. We gave them full control, power. And yeah, there's something about that purity that we had. They got addicted to it. And they just want to consume, devour it. Let it become a part of themselves. And this is why, no matter what you do, it's never good enough. This is the thing. Many of us, we see this in like a bad way. Actually, it kind of speaks of your value. It's like when something's so good, it's kind of like you're like a tub of Pringles. What's the slogan? Once you pop, you can't stop. Or like a tub of Ben and Jerry's. But maybe I'm just talking from my own experience here, because a nice tub of vegan Ben and Jerry's, it's hard to stop with that. I just want to finish it all off, especially if it's like the cookie dough one. That's kind of what you are. And it's like, you imagine a kid with a tub of Ben and Jerry's. And, they've already had like a few spoonfuls of it. And maybe they want some more. And they will act like, if you confront them, you say, oh, you already had some of this Ben and Jerry's. You can't have any more dessert tonight. And they'll just say, no, that was their sibling. That was Jimmy. Jimmy had the Ben and Jerry's. They'll gaslight you. They'll lie to you. They're like, no, I didn't have any of the ice cream yet. Because they want more. Because they're addicted to it. They love it. They can't get enough of it. That's why they start manipulating, lying, gaslighting, invalidating. Because they want more of it. They can't get enough of it. They're insatiable. So it doesn't speak of a lack of value. It speaks of the abundance of your worth. when they start lying, denying, gaslighting. They want more access. They cannot get enough of you. This is why they're obsessed. This is why they're stalkers. This is why they're constantly crossing your boundaries all the time. They cannot get enough of your essence, your light. It is an addiction to them, to the point where they will cross boundaries. They will even break laws to get to you. They will violate court orders, restraining orders, everything. Because you're that good. Yeah, they will do it all. And they will pile all of these duties and responsibilities onto you. Legal and financial manipulation. Accusing you of things, trying to get you in trouble with the law, isolating you, cutting you off from any supports. They will do all of it. It's like the movie Cinderella, trying to criminalize you, making you out to be this horrible person, keeping you stuck so that you don't progress, you don't move on, you don't become independent, you don't ever get away from them. Because they are corrupt, they are contaminated, and they're feeding off your light. And that's why they don't want you to move on. That's why they don't ever want you to forget about them. They want you to keep investing that energy into them. This is why they do all of these things, and they make you out like you're like some crazy, horrible person who never did anything good for them. This is all about control. They want to keep that supply. That's what this is about. Because anytime you have this belief, confidence in yourself, you've got support, all of this stuff, it all takes you away from them. So this is why they do these things. And yet many of you start thinking there's something wrong with you. You start gaslighting yourself. No, you remember everything you did for them, how loyal you were, how much you invested into them. Don't let them make it so that you can't even see your own light. Meanwhile, they're using it, they're extracting it. It's all because they know they don't deserve it. But yeah. This is dynamic. This is the complexity of it. And, this is what's really going on, when you're around a narcissist. It's always this type of dynamic. Don't ever think that it's anything different. I apologize for the noise, both sides. This is the gang stalking. And this is a part of it, you get gang stalked, smeared. They come after you for that. It's always happened. It's been happening to all of the prophets of God. They all had to go through this. It's that light that you have, that innocence. What I would say is protect your children as well, because this gets passed down. It's your light, it's your innocence. Just you being a genuine person. So you are strong enough to make it through unaffected in life. To not turn to darkness. That's what made you a target for these people. But yeah. This is the message for today. Let me know what you think about it. Drop a comment down below in the comment section. Let's discuss it together. I am reading your comments every day. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the bell icon. That way you will be notified when I go live again. And give the video a thumbs up. Let's work together to get out there. You know, there's so many people who do not understand this. And they need to know it. They need to know why they're so obsessed, controlling, devaluing, smearing, gossiping, isolating, accusing, manipulating financially, legally, everything. Crossing boundaries, breaking laws. This is why they do this. It's because you're so good. You're like a tub of Ben and Jerry's and they want more. That's what they're denying, lying, gaslighting, projecting, blame shifting, rewriting history. It's because your love, your essence is so good. And they cannot get enough of it. They are insatiable. They want full 24/7 access to it. Unbound, unrestricted. This is what it's about. This is what you need to know. Remember, you are supply. And if you would like to know more about this, you are welcome to book a one-on-one with me. Just go to narcsurvivor.co.uk. If you would like to support our wonderful community, you're welcome to donate. And you can do that by going to paypal.me/narcsurvivor. Also, I am available on Instagram. Follow me. It's Narc Survivor YouTube. And we do have a new Facebook group. It's called Narc Survivor. New videos on there every day, and I think later today I will put a quiz on there as well. I put a few quizzes on there already, and it could be very helpful, you know, to do these quizzes to see how far along you are. And also I drop the answers in the comment section on there as well, so you can check it to see if you got it right. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you all for joining me. Again, give the video a thumbs up. Let's make sure it gets out there. So many people who can benefit from this information. So many people who are unknowing. They do not fully understand what's really going on, and they blame themselves. They think that they were enough, they need to do more. No, you've done far too much. And you've been neglected for such a long time. That's the truth. But yeah, thank you all. And I will speak to you in another live video very soon.